Alright guys, we're going to be working on the X-Wing helmet again. Alright, so I'm going to do a couple small things in this episode. I don't want my videos to get too long. I don't enjoy that. One thing I'm going to deal with is trimming this up, and that admittedly is something I should have done before I put the Mohawk on. I got hyper focused on putting the Mohawk on and how I was going to do it and execute that, and I totally forgot that's a step you should do before. That being said, I need to trim it up, and in order to do that properly and not worry about damaging anything, I got to take the Mohawk off again. But I don't want to take it off and put it back on, take it off and put it back on anymore. So when I take this off, I'm not going to put it back on until it is ready to be painted, which is coming up. Actually, probably be the next video. Yeah. So besides that, I want to do another little test fit with this visor. I'm gonna not permanently attach, but semi-permanently attach these magnets. One on the inside, like right up here in the top, and then the other is gonna go on here. And I just want to do that just so I can make sure I can get like placement of the visor in the right spot. More for my own mental preparations for things. I like to visualize things before I make them totally permanent. What I'm going to be using is these little stickers. No. Stay. These little stickers that came with the magnets. They're little 3M double-sided things, and you just stick it to one side and then you stick it in there. We can always pry them off. It's not a huge deal. They're going to stay put until we pry them off. Hopefully. I don't know. I've never actually used one of those as I drop it on the floor. Anyway, there it is. So that's what I'm going to do before I do any trimming or anything like that. I'm going to just put these on and kind of figure out where I want that magnet to go and kind of placement. And if it works really well, I'll just leave it as is because they're not really thick with the pad on there, and pretty unobtrusive, so it might turn into the permanent solution if it's gonna work out. Anyways, let's get to me sticking magnets on things because magnets are fun. It would appear that there's an issue. Now that I have these visors, the ones that are built in, fixed in their tracks so they slide freely, like that guy, there's not enough room for this tongue and a magnet. Because it just does not want to go in. So I'm not sure what to do about that. I mean, it's not like this thing is like not scratched up. It's pretty bad. I don't know if you can see. It's scratched up. But there's no reason to make it worse. And I don't know that I can flex this enough to get that in there where we want it. I mean, I can get it in a little bit, but I also don't want to yank it out of its track. I just only have so many hands, and I kind of need extras to do what I'm trying to do here. Because the magnet is not going to be anywhere we want it. So it's right there, and it needs to be more top. Well, that is an interesting problem now, isn't it? It was not a problem before, but that problem created itself by me fixing those visors and getting them to pop down into their tracks correctly. Whereas before, when I was sliding this in, they were not in there. There's plenty of space because they weren't sitting in their tracks. So that's disappointing. It's a new problem to solve that I had not planned on having to solve. I thought I had already solved it. Yeah. So I gotta think about this. I may have to put this off for a little bit, at least this part of it. Try to think my way out of this problem. There's just spitballing ideas as you know, I'm seeing things right now, not having much time to think about it. I could cut this down quite a bit because I can get this in a little ways, and put the magnet, you know, down here, and then it's much shorter. It doesn't have to slide very far back. There's actually some space, you know, for like the nose. Oh, you can't see it on that one. It's all black. So like this, you can see there's nose space. So I think I might be able to fit it just a little bit past that because I can get it to flex a little bit, but it's not something you could put in and take off very easily. Like you'd want to put it in there and you would just leave it alone, you know. So I don't know what the solution is just yet, but I think I can go ahead and pull off this Mohawk and trim this part. And I've got this trim that came out of the kit. It's just some, like, you know, rubber piping. It's kind of a U shape. And once I get that edge cleaned up, I'll just push that onto the edge. And if I have to make a filler panel, you know, later if we decide to do that, it's not a big deal because I got plenty of this stuff. This is way more than I'm going to use. I'll probably use only like that much, I'm guessing. Just by, you know, yeah, that's probably, you know, 6 inches tops I'm going to use, and I've got more than a foot. So probably 18 inches. Maybe, well, actually, that's probably about 2 feet. Quite a bit. So yeah, let me start pulling screws off. Like I said, I'm not going to put this Mohawk back on. At the end of this video, I'm going to be leaving it off. I'm going to be setting up for paint. I'm going to be setting all those screws in to be a little bit more, or the fasteners in, so they're a little bit more permanent and they don't spin. Just all the little things that got to be done, because really, ideally, I will only have to put the Mohawk on and off like 1 or 2 more times. Ideally, I don't know if that's going to be reality, but anyways, enough talking. Too much talking. Let me get my screwdriver thing. Alright, well that was not too bad. Stinky though. Burning plastic basically. It doesn't smell pretty. Yeah, so let me fling my knife at my foot. That's scary. Wish I had that on camera. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put some of this trim on. And then we're gonna call it good for now because I don't have any more time. I'm going to be pulling off the ram's horn in the next video, doing more prep for paint, possibly investigating that visor positioning thing. But yeah, I gotta come up with some ideas. If anybody's got ideas, hit me up in the comments. Yeah, so let's get to throwing the piping on. Wow, that was really, really hard. Like, my hands are cramping. I don't know if it comes across on video, but like that little bit of trim there did not want to go on there. And it's probably because it's like twice as thick and it's bending the opposite way. Like when you bend it, so like it naturally wants to curve this way, and I'm trying to bend it the other way, and it just wants to close the little flap there when you do that, and it's kind of rigid too. So I probably should have heated it up a little bit. That probably would have made it a little bit more pliable. But using the screwdriver to kind of work it, you know, running that down, you know, and forcing it to be open a couple times, that really helped. Then putting it on, I hit it with a heat gun, and boom, it's on there. Because there's a little bit of an adhesive inside of that track, just like in the very bottom of that crevice. So that's on there. I'm still genuinely shocked at how difficult that was. I don't think that was actually meant for that spot, but it's on there, and it's not going anywhere. So, yeah. Yeah, next video I will probably... I don't know if I'll paint. I keep putting that off. I've got to do it really soon because it's getting cold. And I do not like doing spray paint inside the house. So it means I gotta do it outside, and when it's below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, the paint just doesn't do not happy things. It's I've had bad results, let's just say that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that real soon before it's too cold to do it. I think I might be able to do it. I don't know if I'll be able to do it next video, but anyway, I've got to solve that issue, and I've got to go and put all these fasteners back in. So I might wind up putting I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. All right, that was crazy hard. I couldn't believe how hard it was. Like, my hands are like cramped up from trying to force that thing on there, and man, just not fun. Like, it wanted to, it's like a U, you know, or like a V or something like that, and there's a little bit of adhesive in the bottom. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up, but it just, and it's also wanting to curve like this, and I'm trying to curve it the other way, and when you do that, it wants to clamp itself closed even harder. And so using the screwdriver helped, kind of running down the the crevice there to widen it open, kind of work it open. But I don't think, like, my original plan was to like put some on, then slice off the excess, but like there was no freaking way I was gonna get it on with all that excess on there, because I was also kind of helping close it up, and so I just cut off approximation. And we do have this thicker kind here on the back that it's going to butt against, so it's going to meet up with that anyway. Not too worried about it. That's kind of nobody pays attention to the back of the helmet like that anyway. So anyway, next video I'm hoping I will get all the hardware fixed into the helmet, into like the ram's horn and into the back, the ones that were falling out. I'm a little leery about doing that because I don't have a great way to do it. You know, it's like they need to be fixed in there, but like if they're not already fixed in there, they want to spin. You can see the problem there is like, you know, how do I do it without letting them spin? I think the ram's horn I can actually do without, because I might be able to do it. I don't know. It's tricky. I got to figure this out. I got to think this problem through, just like the visor. I've got to deal with that problem as well. And yeah, that's going to be... I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, check out the blog, propchopshop.com. I'll throw some affiliate links in the description for things I used, which would be magnets, X-Acto knife. Yeah, anyways, clicking on that helps me out a little bit. I make a few cents off the transaction. Doesn't cost you anything extra. So just a way for you to help support me doing cool stuff like this. And that'll be it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.